Peace everyone, Unmasked here, and welcome back to the Drawing Journal. Okay, to start off this week's Drawing Journal, I'm going to begin with the artist feature of the week, and this week it is MegaJohnAh2. I have been subscribed to MegaJohnAh2 for about 2 years. It's been a really long time. We've even done a collaboration together in the past, only maybe a few months ago, not even, just late last year we did a collaboration, but he does a lot of comic book art, and so if you're a fan of that, you'll definitely appreciate his channel. He uploads regularly and has a lot of fans, so definitely go check out his channel and subscribe. And so that is it for the artist feature of the week. If you'd like to be featured, just leave a comment below. If I'm not already subscribed, make sure that you upload regularly and you have good content, and I will just randomly choose you and feature you in the Drawing Journal. So anyway, getting back to some of my stuff, if you watched the video last week, which, considering how many views on it, I can't imagine that you're watching this and haven't watched last Thursday's time-lapse, which was a big project, a project that I had been planning for quite some time now, and it was a colored pencil drawing of my self-portrait. Before I get into that a little bit more, I just wanted to show off some of the things that I've been working on this past week, aside from regular art stuff. So, if you don't know this about me, I am a huge anime fan. I love it. I love the style. I love manga also. And that is the style in which I draw when I'm not drawing something realistic or for a client or something like that. It's the style that I love the most. It's the style that I plan on getting back into more regularly on my channel, so you can look forward to many tutorials to come as far as drawing this style. This is just a couple sketches that I did over the week, kind of like just took an hour and sketched some stuff up. This is just the first one that I did, and this is the first time that I've drawn in this style in I don't even know how long, so just kind of getting the dust off my but it's on just plain computer paper, so it's nothing special. This is the second one that I did. Quite a few people like this one. I even like this one a lot more, but it was a lot of fun to do, and yeah, it's my idea of if anime took place in Seattle. That's the motivation behind this one. And then this is a base. This is what my drawings start out as. I start with the base, and then from there I design outfits and facial features, hair, and everything like that. So the reason I'm showing this off is because two reasons, actually. One, in the future, after I move, because I'm actually moving in just a couple weeks, so pretty excited. So I'm not going to try to do any major projects right now, but in the future I will be doing a very intense series of tutorials on drawing anime, literally from the beginning to the end production of what I use, what the techniques that I use, the way that I do it, the way that I think about it, and it will involve every technique that I am personally aware of. And yeah, so if you're into that, then I hope that you look forward to those tutorials. I'll be starting them probably next month, depending on how quickly I can get set up once I get to Poland. But yeah, for this here, I had a special idea, and I really wanted to involve everybody that enjoys these videos in this process. So as far as the base goes, it's done. I mean, I could clean up the lines a little bit more, but I'm not real concerned about it. So as far as the base goes, it's done. And so what I wanted to ask everybody to do is help me put clothes on this character. Help me design this character. So in the comments of this video, tell me what you'd like this person to wear. Give me a single article of clothing, and if you can, find a picture of something that you want this character to wear and post the link in the comments so that I can go look at exactly what you want it to wear. I think it would be really fun to kind of design this character with the audience of my channel. So if you have hairstyle or tattoos or a shirt or a dress, whatever. I can't dress it in everything that everybody says, but I figured it'd be a lot of fun to just kind of collaborate with everybody, and then we can see what kind of character I create. I'm most likely not going to draw it on screen. I don't know, but yeah, and yeah, I thought that'd be fun. So that's enough of that. So now getting into my self-portrait, taking a closer look at my self-portrait. Move that out of the way. So I had a few questions about this, kind of about how long it took, and to be honest, I don't really know exactly how long it took because I didn't do it in one sitting. I did it in about 4 sittings, and the first sitting was probably about 7 to 9 hours long, and then I backed away from it, and I asked a couple people for opinions. One of the things that I went back and changed was adding a little bit more detail on this side of my hairs, because I was trying to build light, really strong light from the right side here. I was trying to highlight my locks on this side and then still have detail but not lose the lighting. So I had to keep the details kind of dark and muted on this side, where on here it's much more bright because of the light. And then also on the background, one of the things I did is I darkened this side of the background, so it kind of helps build that contrast a little bit more. Yes, so I also got the question as to what colors I used, and if you did not see my tutorial that I made on creating an effective color palette, then I highly recommend you do that, because it's exactly the technique that I used to get my colors. And I still have my digital color palette, and I'll show that right here. And you can see that I broke down all the colors. There was only about 15 colors. I think there was 15 colors that I used on this piece. And that seems kind of small, and the truth is it is kind of small. It's pretty narrow spectrum of a color palette. However, because I'm able to blend each color together and stuff like that, it allows me to get this range. And it also keeps the picture really consistent, whereas if I were to accidentally choose a color outside the color scheme, then it kind of clash with the other colors. So again, I recommend checking out the tutorial again. Even if you have watched it and you haven't really thought of a way of utilizing it, I assure you that it is extremely beneficial, and it made doing this project exceptionally easy. I kind of hate to say just how easy this was, because I know that people will look at it and be like, you know, I could never do that. That looks really hard, or something along those lines. And the truth is, to the degree that I practiced up to the point of doing this and establishing my color palette, this project was a surprisingly easy thing to accomplish. And so yes, so getting away from the technical side of this drawing, a few people asked me kind of like, or they mentioned how it must have been difficult to kind of draw yourself, and I have to admit that this piece was very personal to me, because not because I'm sitting here drawing myself, but what I wanted to capture in my self-portrait was as much of myself as I possibly could. And I know that might sound kind of strange to some people, but the truth is, I take a lot of pride in knowing who I am as a person, and doing my self-portrait was kind of like capturing myself as a person and reflecting it as who I am as an artist. And so for me, my self-portrait took a lot of my personality. It kind of, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. I don't think that I can really find adequate words to describe exactly what this project meant to me. I know that a lot of people over the past couple years have been asking me, specifically family and stuff, and my girlfriend, have been asking me to do a self-portrait, and the truth is, I wasn't ever ready on a personal level, on an artistic level. It was something that when I wanted to do it, I knew that I was ready to do it, and so I didn't take this project lightly at all. And this is the first time that I've ever done a self-portrait in my life, and I think that I probably would have turned down a project of a self-portrait, even if it was given to me as like a senior art student. I've never been an art. I've never been like an art student. I'm a math major, so even if I was given this project in an art class or something, I probably would have told my teacher no. Like, flat out, I would have said, no, I'm not doing a self-portrait, because, like I said, I wouldn't do this project if I didn't feel like I was absolutely ready to undertake it. And this was there's a lot of firsts in this project. The first thing is that it's the first time I did a self-portrait in my entire life. The next thing, it's the first time I ever used my new luminance colored pencils. And it's also the first time that I've ever done a colored portrait in my lifetime. I've never tried to do a colored portrait to this regard in any of the mediums that I've ever used. I probably would have attempted a portrait in oil if I had the time. To be honest, if I ever had the time, I would have probably already done a portrait in oil, but I didn't. So I did this, and if you're watching this and you haven't seen the time lapse, then I can't encourage you enough to go watch it, because it not only did I draw this, if you think it's good, but I also put in equal amounts of effort into making the video as enjoyable to watch as possible. And I'm obviously try to do that with all of my time lapses. So yes, I think that's enough on my self-portrait. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask in the comments. If you know anything about my channel, asking questions in the comments do not go unanswered. So yeah. And the other thing that I finished last week was this drawing here, with a slightly different drawing journal. And yeah, it came out really good. I like the way that this came out. And yeah, I'm going to start a really different project. And it's, I don't know, you can kind of consider it a partial tutorial. I'm going to show you how I set up my my bases So my bases for my anime characters, I like to use perfect circles when I do it. Really for no other reason. I mean, I could simply use a ruler, but for some reason I like to use circles. So I kind of already have this measured off, so I'm just going to go right ahead. The one thing to that I'll mention about proportions for anime, you can use any proportions based on head height. It's very common, you know. You have like the two head high chibi characters, and then you have the 3 head high toddlers, the 4 head high infants, 5 head high like young teenagers, kind of age range, and then you have the 6 head high, which is more of the young adult or just a shorter person, and then you have the 7 head high proportions. That is kind of the exaggerated hero size, and then you have the ridiculous 8 head giants. But I usually use about 6. I like 6. I like the proportions the way it is. It's not completely exaggerated, and there's still some realism aspect to the 6 heads. Oh, I got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I use the right circle? What circle did I use? Okay. I kind of don't like that. I think I might shift this up. So yeah, I'm gonna erase this and shift it up. Thought I had it measured out, but I guess not. What else? Yeah, so I'm going to just draw a base and kind of design a character so that you can, over the next few drawing journals, you'll see kind of the process that I go through, the tutorial aspect. I'll talk about everything in the future in more detail, but today I think all I'm going to do is draw a few circles. Other than that, I won't do anything else. But I hope everybody had a good weekend, by the way. I had a stressful weekend. This week in general is going to be pretty stressful. It's my last week of school, and yeah, there's a lot of studying that I have to do, and it's pretty stressful. But I'm surviving. And then, of course, right after this, I have to start packing up and preparing for my move. I'm extremely excited and anxious, and just all kinds of emotions over the move. Yeah, I think that's better. So yeah, this is how I start my bases. Even if this, I don't use the circles, obviously this top circle becomes the head. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video here. Hope you enjoyed it. I do have one question that came up this week from the Dynus again, and he asked me, or she asked me, I'm not sure, if I could give some tips on how to draw things that are slightly turned to the side, especially referring to the body and the face and things like that. And that's a really complicated subject. I mean, that's when it comes to like a general tip. I'll cover that in next week's video. I didn't have a lot of time to do that in this video, but I just wanted to mention that because I didn't want you to think that I'd forgot about your comment. So I will cover some tips next week on how to think a little bit more three-dimensionally, and that will give you some idea on how to approach how to approach things that are slightly turned, and when you're working on a figure or something like that, or you want to design a character. And I think that watching me build this character base, you'll also get a good idea on how to approach those more realistic camera angles that you want to try to develop when you're creating a character. So yeah, look forward to that next week. I also want to say thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon. Your support is very meaningful to me, and especially considering next month I will be nothing but a full-time artist, which means I will be completely broke and making no money, except for what I get from YouTube and my patrons, which, to be completely honest with you, is less than $20 a month. So I hope that you enjoy the videos that I make, because I literally do it on a $20 a month budget. So anyways, I will see you all next week. Have a lovely week. Take care. Peace.